Welcome to this Moving Panels One Shot. Let's have a nerdy little conversation. And today we are going to go back to something that we've done a bit with the MCU. And that was allow Ruby to experience a phase at a time. And since we are still, I guess, currently in phase 5, I'm completely lost as to where they are. We started doing something else. So Ruby has decided to start watching Smallville. And so we have been watching Smallville, and we are actually currently in season 2. But we got the idea, you know what? Why don't we start talking about these and talking about her visiting Smallville. And so we are going to talk about the first season. So she has recently finished the first season, maybe a week ago.
Yeah.
And we're going to see what she thinks about the early days of Clark Kent, how she thought about the Freak of the Week kind of format, and what she thought about just Smallville in general. So how are you, Ruby?
I'm good.
So you ready to talk Smallville?
Yes.
Okay. So let's first, let me ask you some questions. So what did you think of Clark in the very first episode, the introduction of Clark Kent?
I mean, I'm just surprised that everyone thought he was a nerd. He was a nerd, but he does not look like that movie stereotypical nerd that shows and all that make nerds look like. And
yeah, were you surprised that he's not wearing glasses?
Yeah!
Right off the bat, they didn't just give him glasses. What did you think about the meteor shower, the opening of the first episode?
Ooh, that was good, because I like how it explained why Lex is bald, and like how Martha and Jonathan found Clark.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the first episode, the pilot?
Ooh, that's kind of hard. It was a bit ago since we watched it.
Yeah, we had to get through, what was it, 23, 24 episodes?
Yeah. I think it was 21 episodes.
Okay. But what was your favorite part of the pilot?
I think it would have to be, honestly, the opening bit where it explains the meteor shower.
So the whole meteor shower?
Yeah.
So did the pilot hook you? Like, did it make you think like,
yes.
Okay, this is a good decision for me to watch Smallville?
I mean, I haven't told you this yet, but it is now my favorite show.
Oh, well, yeah. And again, you're just starting.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of... Now, did you know the character Lana Lang?
No.
Okay, so you didn't know about Lana. So you only knew Lois Lane.
Yeah.
So what were your thoughts about Lana Lang? Did you like her? Do you like this portrayal of her? Are you okay with Clark having a high school sweetheart?
I mean, I like it. I like the fact that she's not like super mean to him or like super popular and just...
Oh no, she's super popular.
I know, but again, the stereotypical thing for that.
Yeah, she's not a mean girl.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Chloe and Pete? Now, Pete's from the comics. Pete was Clark's, best friend growing up and all that, but Chloe was brand new. Chloe was created just for this show.
I mean, I feel like Pete needs a bit more, in the second season, he's getting more spotlight, but in the first season, he just was kind of in the shadows.
Okay, and this is going to be fun to ask you about. What are your thoughts on Lex Luthor? Excuse me.
Oh, gosh. Fact is, he's such a good character, and it's so sad that I know what he becomes in the future. He's such a good character, though.
But when you say good character, you're actually saying you like him. Like, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
he does have his moments, though,
yeah,
where he shows the villainous side of him.
That's really just because of how he was raised.
Yeah. So, did anyone surprise you or change the way you thought about them by the end of the season? So,
Whitney.
Whitney? Okay, what was it about Whitney?
He's just really mean at the beginning, but when it gets near close to the end, he like finally is nicer to Clark.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out Clark or Kal-El.
They don't know his name's Kal-El.
I know. But I like how they just gave him a bit of character development, but they threw him away at the end of
Well, they didn't throw him away.
I know, but
Whitney leaves the show in the final episode.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some episodes, particular episodes, and we'll start off with Stray, which you claimed is your favorite.
Yeah.
So why did you like this episode? What makes it your favorite?
Because it's really sweet because of Ryan and how Clark and Ryan just get along so well, and how Jonathan and Martha actually think of adopting him.
Yeah. So, like, what did you think of the story to where he's being hunted down by I forgot, was it his father or his stepfather?
I think it was his father and then like his stepmother.
Okay. But what did you think about the overall story?
That was really cool. I like how they gave him powers so he reads people's minds.
Would you want a power like that?
That sounds too chaotic. I already can't handle enough too many noises at once.
What did you think about the fact that he couldn't read Clark's mind?
I mean, that's interesting because it's probably because, like, Clark is, well, Superman and is from a completely different planet. So, yeah. I'd say that's a really good, like, showing how he's different.
So I just thought about this because what do you think about the fact that in just in season one, there are a good handful of characters that actually find out about Clark?
Yeah. Because I feel like most of the characters, they're only for that one episode.
Yeah, because it's never any of the main characters, other than obviously Jonathan and Martha.
And Pete.
Well, no, Pete doesn't find out in season one.
Not in first season, yeah.
Not in season one.
Not in
like
season
I said,
one.
you're already into season 2, so
yeah.
Spoiler. But yeah, because you've got the one bad guy that finds out, but then he's killed.
Yeah.
You've got the cop or reporter. Yeah,
reporter.
The cop finds out and then he's killed.
Yeah.
Reporter finds out. That's the one you almost don't know how he's going to get away with it, and it ends in the season finale. You don't know.
Yeah.
And then Ryan finds out. Ryan knows.
Yeah, but he keeps it.
But he keeps the secret. There's that other guy who, when he touches you, he can convince you to do stuff.
Oh, yeah, he knows.
He knows, but agrees to keep Clark's secret. Then you got to think there's the kid that was Leech.
Oh, yeah.
So he knows, but he's been put away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's out there, but he knows. Yeah,
he's crazy.
Yeah, so... And then didn't the shape-shifting girl, didn't she find out? But then she was killed at the end?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Let's talk about that episode, because that's one of my favorite episodes. So that's X-Ray. That's where Clark actually gets his ability to his X-ray vision.
Yeah.
What would you think of that power?
That's really cool. I don't like the beginning part where they're in the gym and he looks through the girls' locker room.
Yeah, but that was before he knows how to control it.
Yeah.
And yes, this show is very early 2000s and does very early 2000s teenage series, WB style things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got the freak of the week in this case.
Yeah.
A girl who can shapeshift into other people. Did that creep you out? Did you think it was cool?
It kind of creeped me out because, like, she honestly just... her as herself honestly just already looked like a kind of creepy person, and then we find out she can shapeshift, which is even creepier.
Does make you... Did you question, though, like, how does she get hold of the clothing?
Oh, yeah. How does she do that?
Yeah, and then how does the shape-shifting cause her voice to sound like the person?
Yeah.
That's another thing. I've always questioned that when I see shapeshifters. Like, how
Yeah.
does that work? So, how would you use X-ray vision if you had it?
So I like these Hunger Games mystery boxes.
Being able to see into mystery bags and
see if I can find PETA
what
and Girl from District 10, because I don't have those two.
Okay. What were your thoughts, though, of the Freak of the Week kind of concept?
Yeah, that's cool, because I like how it's not just, oh, this is going to happen and we're cutting the episode there.
Yeah, no overall, like, continuing story, that it was one villain each week, which was a meteor freak, someone who was affected by the meteor rocks in some way, shape, or form.
Or just had those powers.
Yeah.
Because didn't the Ryan just have those powers?
Yeah, I think they explained it a little. So, who was did you have a favorite, like, Freak of the Week? Meteor freak, whatever you want to call it?
Ooh. That's hard.
I know, they're villains, but...
Yeah, but I'm also kind of mixing it up with the second season.
Well, so you had, the kid in the first one who had the ability to control electricity. Then you had, like, the bug guy.
No.
You had Amy Adams.
Oh,
later, yeah.
But she was also very creepy.
Yeah. You had the frozen kid.
Ooh. He was terrifying.
Yeah. You had the old man who was a serial killer who got to be young again.
Did not like that ever.
You had that. Of course, we had the shape-shifting girl. Trying to think of some others.
They're all just so creepy.
Yeah. So you didn't have a favorite one that you would pick out?
No, they're just all so creepy.
All right, well, let's talk about an episode you said you didn't like, and that was Rogue, which is the episode with the police officer that...
The dirty cop.
Yes, that he sees Clark using his powers outside of the museum when he saves a homeless guy from being hit by a bus. And so then he blackmails Clark into doing some bad things.
Yeah.
So what was it that you didn't like?
I just didn't like how stressful it was. Just like, if he does this, then this is going to happen. We don't know if he does this, what's going to happen if he does this. And it's just aggravating and stressful. Because, like, Jonathan went to jail in that episode.
He framed Jonathan for murder. So was he too mean? Was he too scary, the police officer?
I mean, I hate to say this, but he was intelligent.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, what do you think about some of the choices Clark makes in that episode?
Oh, I mean, he was trying to do the right thing, but also... That's the worst part about, like, blackmailing someone is...
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know, but, like, they, if you want to do the right thing, but if you do, this is going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes when Clark thought he was doing the right thing, he just made things worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since it was your least favorite episode, is there something about the episode you would change?
If I could change anything, I would have to rewrite the entire episode.
So not a particular element. You would just say, we just won't have that episode and do a whole nother episode?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the season finale, which is called Tempest.
Ooh.
So there's a huge storm that happens. What did you think about the tornado? The whole concept of the tornado in Kansas.
Yeah. yeah.
A tornado in Kansas.
We
What a
kept
crazy
making
thought.
Wizard of Oz jokes watching that episode.
But were you worried about Lana?
Oh, yes, yes.
Did you think something would happen to Lana?
No.
So, of course, that one kind of just ends. That was a cliffhanger. You see Clark's trying to get to Lana, and as he gets to her, the truck gets sucked up by the tornado with her in it.
Yeah.
And then you see him run into the tornado. And that's all you see in the season finale.
Yeah.
It doesn't continue until season 2, so we won't talk about that. But I will ask you this. How soon, and I know you've already seen some of season 2, but how soon do you think it'll be before Clark reveals his secret to Lana?
At least season 5.
Season 5? Okay. All right.
It's just that the way things are going between them, season 5, she's pushing it, but I'm saying the halfway point.
Yeah, because there's 10 seasons.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I know you've already seen, we're what, like 4 or 5 episodes into season 2 already?
Yeah.
From the time we're recording this. So you've seen some things, but are there things about him becoming Superman, about him learning his powers, about the relationships he has with Lana, Chloe, Pete, Lex? Is there something that you're excited to see? Something you're waiting for to happen?
I know it's not going to happen, but Clark and Lana to finally get together.
So that, I mean, hey, that's one of the things that drives the show is, will they ever end up together?
Yeah, they won't, but...
Of course, what would happen if, what happens if they do end up together? Because you already know that he's later going to end up with Lois Lane.
Yeah.
So that means something has to happen to their relationship, to Lana and Clark's relationship.
Yeah, and I was on IMDb and accidentally kind of spoiled that for myself.
Well. So overall, what were your thoughts on season 1 of Smallville?
It was really good. I really liked it. All the villains, like I said, are just terrifying. They're terrifying, creepy, and stressful. Which makes the show so good.
And since this was season 1, if there are people out there, maybe people your age, getting into that preteen age, like, what would you tell them if they haven't seen it? Like, is it something they should watch? Is it something they should be interested in?
It depends on what they like. Because if they do like superheroes and have been experienced with Superman, I would say, like, hey, this would be a cool show for you. As long as you're, like, near my age, at least. Wouldn't say, like, 6-year-olds could watch this show.
Let me ask you this question about it. If you didn't know that he would become Superman, if you didn't know.
Well, that's hard.
I know. But can you separate yourself from that? And if you didn't know that he would be Superman, what would be your thoughts about this show?
Weird kid thinks he has superpowers and does. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if I would enjoy it more or less.
Yeah.
Because since I know he's going to become Superman, I know nothing's going to happen to, like, terribly going to happen to him during the show.
Mm-hmm.
But if I didn't know he was going to become Superman, I could think, like, he might die at the end of this show, for all I know. That rhymed.
So do you think, like, this show goes on for 10 seasons?
Yes.
You're done with season 1. Do you think he could go ahead and become Superman, or do you think he needs more time before he could be Superman?
He definitely needs more time.
Because he hasn't developed all his powers.
No, he hasn't.
Because as of the end of season 1, you haven't seen him use, like, his freeze breath. No. You haven't seen him use his heat vision. You haven't, obviously he hasn't flown. You did see him floating over his bed.
Yeah, which kind of broke the rule. Like, we're already at episode 2 and you broke the no flight rule.
Well, but he was just floating.
Okay.
But you haven't actually seen him fly. So, but what do you think of the relationship between Clark and his parents, the Kents?
Ooh, we keep making this like a running joke every time something bad happens to Martha. Just don't mess with Mama Kent.
Yeah.
Because she can fend for herself and she's Superman's mom.
Yeah. But we also talk about that whenever Clark does something that he knows he's going to get in trouble for, like, he's actually afraid of Jonathan.
Oh, yeah, he's afraid of Jonathan. He keeps backing up.
There's the one where he says something, Jonathan stands up, and Clark backs away.
Yeah.
Even though he's invulnerable. Like, Jonathan can do nothing to him. I still love the fact that he respects Jonathan and Martha that much that he still looks at them as an authority to him. And it's a great relationship.
Oh, and like in the first episode where he drinks the milk straight from the bottle, and Martha's just like, don't get a cup. And then Jonathan comes over and drinks straight from the bottle.
All right. Well, do you want to do this the typical way of ranking it? Do you want to do bag it, stack it, trade it, or do you want to come up with your own little ranking?
I'm just gonna stick to bag it, stack it, or trade it.
All right. So if you were to rank season 1 of Smallville, is it a bag it, stack it, or trade it?
Bag it.
Okay. Any elaboration on that?
Like I said, I have only watched 1.25 of this show, and it's already my favorite.
Yeah, she does this. How we're getting through it so fast is pretty much almost every evening after dinner or during dinner. She's like, "Can we watch Smallville?" And so we watch almost an episode a night. So
at least 1 or 2 episodes a night.
Yeah. All right.
Oh wait, can I add the fact that I had only listened to that theme song once, and I added it to my playlist.
Yeah, one of the legendary theme songs with Remy Zero save. Oh, what were your thoughts when Remy Zero showed up?
Yeah, that was funny because they were just like, "Oh, I really like this band." Go Remy Zero!
And they're performing the theme song of the show.
Yeah, like not the actual like full song. No, just the theme song bit.
Yeah, they just cut to the formal, and then all of a sudden Remy Zero, somebody say. Yeah, and they're doing the whole thing. All right.
We're going to get copyrighted if we keep singing that
we're
song.
Not right. Well, thank you, Ruby, for joining me and talking about this. And hey, we've got 9 more episodes we're going to get to do now because there's 10 seasons.
Yay!
And of course, it's fun for me to talk with you about Smallville because I'm a big Superman fan, and you're getting to watch this. And I will tell anybody out there, if you have not seen Smallville in a while, maybe this will inspire you to go back and watch it, to see some of the stuff, to hear some of the references. It was kind of fun seeing Amy Adams in one of the roles, considering that Amy Adams would later go on to play Lois Lane in the Snyderverse and Man of Steel and Justice League. Or, you know what? If you've got a teenager or a preteen like I have, you can have them watch it for the first time along with your rewatch. But thank you, Ruby, for joining me for this short little one-shot.
You're welcome. And one more thing. If y'all don't believe that he is a major Superman fan, let me just tell you this. I can't look in one spot without seeing something Superman related in his office.
Yes.
Okay.
So some people have seen, if they follow Moving Panels on TikTok, you've seen this room. But okay. Well, thank you, Ruby, and thank you, everybody, for listening. Rate and review the show. Again, check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as Moving Panels. And then we've also got a website that's still in the works, but it does exist. So check it out, movingpanelspodcast.com. But thank you, everybody, for listening. But for today, for Moving Panels, I'm Laramy Wells.
And I'm Ruby Wells.
And we'll see you on the other side of the page.